If any questions make you uncomfortable, you are welcome to skip them.
Okay.
Would you like to remain anonymous for this interview?
Oh, no, it's okay. I'm Gail Hubert and I'm 59. I live in Missouri, University of Missouri. I'm a geologist. I work at EPA.
Has sexual assault affected your life?
Oh, yeah. Yes, definitely.
Were you the victim of sexual assault or was it someone close to you?
I was a victim.
How old were you when you were assaulted?
It was when I was in college, first of my senior year.
How old was the attacker?
He was 23.
Was your attacker someone you knew?
No, I never had met him.
When did the assault occur?
It happened on my birthday after my surprise birthday party.
What time did the assault occur?
Very late at night, 1 up to 2 o'clock in the morning.
Was anyone involved under the influence?
I was not, the attacker was. He went to my refrigerator and drank a bottle of wine.
What happened prior to the attack?
I was at my surprise birthday party. They dropped me off at home, and I knew that my roommate was coming home right after me, so I didn't lock the door. That was the first mistake. The attacker had been following me. He knew where I lived, happened to notice that I got dropped off, then came in, did his thing. First, he drank some wine. He cut the cords to the telephone. Then he got a knife from the kitchen.
What happened during the attack?
Well, because of a self defense class I took in high school, I was able to remember the number one thing you do when someone has a weapon, and that's try to get it away from them. I slid the knife between the bed and the wall.
What happened after the attack?
Afterwards, I remember he wanted to be friends. I said maybe we could say hi on campus, but probably wouldn't be close friends. Told him he should probably go talk to someone to get help. After he left, I had to find my keys. Couldn't find my keys because he had dumped my purse. Had to go to a payphone. I called a friend, took me to the police station, and I filed a report. After I filed the report, the police were driving back to my apartment. He was walking on the street. We arrested him right there.
Were you alone when the attack took place?
Yes, my roommate was supposed to come home, but she didn't.
Did you seek medical attention?
Oh, yeah, they do what's called a rape kit. They test for evidence.
You said the assault took place in your apartment?
Yes,
Immediately after, did you tell anyone?
yes. I called a friend and took me to the police station and I filed a report.
Did you press charges?
Yes, you have to understand why people don't and why people do. It's just fear, and fear is a big thing. One thing you need to remember is when it happens, the best thing to do is to go to the police so that they can do the test because they can find evidence on your body. Sometimes these people are multiple offenders, and in court, they can find the evidence easier when they do the testing right away. Collect a sheet off your bed, you'll be able to prosecute a lot easier. Prosecution is necessary. It's just going to keep going if you don't. It's harder to do tests later. I didn't change my clothes, so that was a good thing. If everyone had this conversation, everyone would know don't take your clothes off and go and tell them right away. Tell someone, and you need to go to the police.
What was your experience pressing charges?
It was fairly easy, but the defense attorney gave me a hard time asking me questions about why I did not escape, why I didn't try to run. That was because there was absolutely no exit. There were no windows, no doors. He kept asking me why I didn't try to get away. I'm 5'1", and he was a football player. He was 6'6" and weighed over 200 pounds. No way I could get away. I just remembered being perturbed during court when I kept being asked why I didn't run. They were trying to prove I wanted it, but that wasn't the case.
Did your attacker have a weapon?
Yes, he got a knife from the kitchen.
Does your family have any knowledge of your assault?
Yeah, I called my parents. My dad wanted to come get me and take me out of school, but I told him I was almost done with my degree and I didn't want to leave. They allowed me to stay there. They were upset, but they knew that that's what I wanted to do.
Was this a one-time occurrence?
Yes.
What was going on in your head during the assault?
Oh, it's really scary. The very first thing I did was I prayed to God to protect me. I think the one thing that kept me from freaking out was that self-defense class I had in high school.
What do you think society should be doing to battle against sexual assaults?
I think every school, starting in kindergarten, should teach kids to respect their bodies and to respect others. In high school, every young adult should have a self defense class to teach them first how to prevent an attack. If I had not been calm, he would have used the knife, but I kept calm. I waited for him to be distracted to get the knife away. He forgot where he had laid it, so I just slid it between the bed and the wall. I wouldn't have known that had I not had that self defense class. It helps you to think on your feet during a very stressful situation.
Did you reach out to any public establishments to help recover from the attack?
I did work for a hotline on campus to help other victims know that it's going to be okay. You can get through it.
Was your mental health affected due to your assault?
Yeah, after the attack, it did affect me. I wasn't able to concentrate very well. It took me a while to get over things. And I didn't go out. It took me a while to get comfortable. I remember I even told some of my professors in case I might have to miss class. I went to counseling. That got me to be able to sleep. It's taught me a lot. And yes, I am afraid, but it's gotten better. Really going to a counselor on the campus, that really helped. So if anyone ever has had that happen and had some mental problems from it, I suggest trying to find some counseling.
Have any of your long-term relationships been affected due to your assault?
I wouldn't say that in particular really affected any of my relationships. I have a husband. He loves me. He understands me. He knows all about it. So does my son. They are very aware not to leave doors unlocked.
Do you make different choices in your daily life due to what you've experienced?
Well, I think that it taught me to always have the doors locked, whether I'm inside or not. I am very alert. I'm aware to take different paths to ask, to always look around me and be aware of my surroundings. Attackers look for people who are distracted, have their back to them, or are looking down. Whenever I'm alone, I turn on lights and I make sure the doors are locked and I have a phone with me.
Do you feel the course of your life has been shifted because of the assault?
Yeah, well, you could say it made me more aware and stronger. There's very little that really seems that bad. I just keep it in perspective. It's just something that happened. It wasn't my fault and it's done. I hope that it doesn't happen to anyone else. And that's one of the reasons I turned the guy in, even though he warned me that if I did, he'd come and kill me.
Did your attacker threaten you?
Yeah, he warned me that I couldn't tell anybody or he'd kill me. He was still probably drunk. It was early in the morning.
Have you heard of any of your peers being sexually assaulted?
More in the dating type.
When did you feel comfortable talking about your assault?
I've told most everyone close to me. I gauge people's comfort level. I can tell when they're uncomfortable about it.
Is there anything else you'd like to say?
I really think every school should start talking with kids about respect for their own bodies and others. Every high school has a self defense class, and this way we learn how to prevent an attack. What they teach you in self defense is get the weapon away from the attacker. If you are short, if you are not as strong, you can use your brain to get out of a situation and make it less aggressive. That's what I did. My attacker had a knife, so I knew don't make him mad, don't fight it, or he'll use it. I'm proof self defense can work and you can survive an attack.
If any questions make you uncomfortable, you are welcome to skip them. Would you like to remain anonymous for this interview? Has sexual assault affected your life? Were you the victim of sexual assault, or was it someone close to you? How old were you when you were assaulted? How old was the attacker? Was your attacker someone you knew?
Yes, I knew him through school and he was my boyfriend at the time.
What time did the assault occur? Was anyone involved under the influence? How did the assault happen?
So my sister was upstairs asleep, and I invited my boyfriend over and his friend too, and we watched a couple of movies, and then he asked me if I wanted to have sex with him, and I said no, and then we were just cuddling and hanging out, and he started to take off my clothes, and I told him no again, and with him being so much larger than me, he held me down and raped me. And then afterwards, I went to the bathroom and sat there for a while, and then I came out and I went to the kitchen to get some water, and he put me on top of the kitchen counter and did it again. And then my sister woke up and
Where did the assault take place? Were there any witnesses to the attack?
no,
Did you seek medical attention? Was any evidence of the assault recorded? Immediately after, did you tell anyone?
I told one of my friends at the time, who ended up being a crappy friend, and told me that I shouldn't tell anyone because I let it happen to myself.
Did you press charges? Did the attacker have a weapon or did he use physical force?
He used physical force.
Does your family have any knowledge of your assault?
No, he doesn't.
Was this a one-time occurrence or did it take place multiple times?
It took place multiple times.
What was going on in your head during the assault?
At first, I felt like it was my fault. Like I had done something and think that I wanted to have sex with him. And then as the years went by, I came to the realization that it wasn't my fault and I didn't do anything for him to be at.
Did you reach out to any public establishments to help recover from the attack?
No, I didn't.
Was your mental health affected due to your assault?
I started to become depressed and have very bad anxiety. I didn't feel comfortable around anyone else.
Have any of your long-term relationships been affected due to your assault?
I dated this guy who was older than me, and I told him about it, and he did the same thing.
Do you make different choices in your daily life due to what you've experienced?
No.
Have you heard of any of your peers being sexually assaulted?
Yes.
In your opinion, is it common?
Yes.
What happened to the attacker?
He graduated high school last year, and he's going into the military.
Do you feel the course of your life has been shifted because of the assault?
Yes. I feel like I'm honestly less comfortable, but I do feel like I can't be alone with a male. And I feel like sometimes it just gets me. It puts me in a bad place, so I don't do things that I should or would normally like to do.
Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah, a lot of it goes unnoticed, and a lot of it no one talks about because it's just like no one believing you or it hurting your social reputation or something like that. I also feel like a lot of people use it when it hasn't happened to them. Like they will falsely accuse someone because they think that it will affect the other person and not them.
If any questions make you uncomfortable, you are welcome to skip them. Would you like to remain anonymous for this interview?
Yes.
Has sexual assault affected your life?
Yes.
Were you the victim of sexual assault or was it someone close to you?
I was a victim.
How old were you when you were assaulted?
It started when I was 15 and continued until I turned 16.
How old was the attacker?
He was 28 when it started and he turned 29.
Was your attacker someone you knew?
Yes, he was a long-time family friend and my sister's roommate.
What time did the assault occur?
The first time it happened, it was around 12 at night.
Was anyone involved under the influence?
No.
How did the assault happen?
First time it happened, I was spending the night at my sister's house, and I had always been close to the attacker, and so we were playing Xbox, and when I spent the night at my sister's house, I usually slept on the couch in her living room. He stayed up with me and played Xbox when my sister and her other roommate went to bed. We were talking, and he told me how when I was little, and he was around all the time, he thought I was so beautiful, and how he thought that I was so mature for my age, and how he just liked me. And he started to kiss me, and I didn't not let him kiss me because I felt happy that someone liked me and I was getting attention. And then he started to take off my clothes, and I told him that I didn't want to have sex with him. And he said that this is what people do when they like each other. And then he took off the rest of my clothes and raped me. And he went to the kitchen and got me something to drink and got me fruit snacks. And he put them down next to me. And then he didn't let me put my clothes back on, and he laid behind me until I fell asleep. And then he left and went into his room.
What happened after the attack?
I was sleeping when I woke up in the morning. I woke up around 6 and then put my clothes back on. And I sat there for a while and I was contemplating if I needed to tell my sister, but I ended up not. And then in the morning around 10 I left.
You said the assault took place at your sister's house?
Yeah.
Were you alone when the attack took place?
Yeah. Him and I were in the living room. My sister was in her room. And my sister's roommate was in his room asleep.
Were there any witnesses to the attack? Did you seek medical attention?
No, I didn't.
Was any evidence of the assault recorded?
No,
Immediately after, did you tell anyone?
No, I didn't.
Did you ever tell anyone?
I finally told my friends, and I was riding in her car, and we were going to go visit him, and he made me angry, and then we went to a gas station, and I told her what had happened.
Did the attacker have a weapon or did he use physical force?
He used physical force.
Did you press charges?
No, I did not.
Do you think you will ever press charges?
No, I didn't.
Does your family have any knowledge of your assault?
No, my family does not know.
Do you think you will ever tell them in the future?
I hope that one day I can tell them, but he is still such a big part in my sister's and my parents' lives because he's their personal trainer that I don't think that now is the time to tell them because I feel like they will want me to do something about it or they will not believe that it happened.
Was this a one-time occurrence or did it take place multiple times?
It took place multiple times.
What was your reaction to being assaulted?
I didn't really know what to do, so I guess I cleaned myself up a bit and just I wasn't gonna do anything. I was kind of in shock that it happened.
Looking back now, do you feel as though he tried to manipulate you due to him being so much older?
Yeah, we had a relationship, I guess you could say. He made me feel important and that I was safe, and it had happened when a certain happened when like a big change happened in my life. So it felt good to have someone that like cared about me this much and wanted to hang out with me and all that stuff. And then as it went on, he threatened me with it, saying that I couldn't tell anyone because it could ruin his life and he could go to jail. And I wouldn't do that if I loved him. I guess it was during a hard time in my life, and I felt like I didn't have any friends or anyone that really cared about me. And he gave me like a relationship, and he cared about me. And he didn't treat me badly. It was just that I didn't want to have sex with him. I felt like I needed to after like having food or whatever he would buy me, and I felt like I owed something to him. And he threatened me with if I truly loved him that I wouldn't tell anyone because he can go to jail and that would ruin his life. And that's no way to treat someone who really cares about you and all that sort of stuff.
How do you feel about your relationship with him?
I definitely don't believe that it was a healthy relationship. And I'm not going to say that I didn't have feelings for him because I definitely did.
Would you like to remain anonymous for this interview?
Yes.
Has sexual assault affected your life?
Yes.
Were you the victim of sexual assault or was it someone close to you?
Both.
How old was the victim?
About to turn 19.
How old was the attacker?
They were in their 20s, but below the age of 23.
Did the victim know her attacker?
She was acquaintances with them.
Was there more than one attacker?
There were 3.
What time did the assault occur?
2 a.m.
Were the victim or the attacker under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
Yes, they were both under the influence of alcohol.
Can you take me through what happened before the assault?
So she got ready at her college dorm room for Halloween. She dressed up as Superwoman. And she went to a Halloween party with her sorority and a couple other fraternities. When she got there, she was hanging out with her friends and just having a good time.
Can you take me through what happened during the assault?
And as the party was coming to a close, she went into the bathroom and 3 guys followed her. As she entered the bathroom, 2 guys held her down while one of them had sex with her, and then they switched. So the other guy would hold her down, and then the other one would have sex with her, and then the other guy would hold her down, and the other one would have sex with her.
Can you take me through what happened after the assault?
She went to her ex-boyfriend's house, and she slept there for about 2 months because she couldn't sleep. And then after she had to stop sleeping there because he was missing school and he couldn't, so she went back to her dorm, and she tried to sleep there and couldn't sleep there, so she took more than was prescribed and had to go to the ER.
Where did the assault take place?
At a fraternity house.
And was the victim alone?
No,
Did the victim seek medical attention?
not until her roommate made her to the doctor after taking the.
Was any evidence of the assault recorded?
No, she told us that she didn't think it was worth ruining those boys' lives over.
Immediately after, did the victim tell anyone?
She told her ex-boyfriend, but that was all. We didn't end up knowing until about 10 months after.
And she never called the police?
No, she didn't.
Did the victim press charges?
No, she didn't.
Did the attacker have a weapon or did he use physical force?
They used physical force.
Does the victim's family have any knowledge of the attack?
Yeah, we know my mom and dad were, well, all of us were very worried and just very scared for her. And my brother was really mad that she didn't go to the police.
Was this a one-time occurrence or did it take place multiple times?
One element.
How did the victim react to being attacked?
I noticed she didn't attempt to fight back that much just because there was such larger people in her.
Did the victim decide to reach out to any public establishments tasked with helping victims of sexual assault?
No, she didn't.
Was the victim's mental health affected?
She started having nightmares and couldn't sleep unless she was with another person she felt safe around. She started to use sex as a way to cope with it because it became something that she could control.
Have any of the victim's long-term relationships been affected due to the assault?
No,
Does the victim or others affected by the experience make different choices in daily life because of the assault?
I believe all of us are more cautious now, but I don't think that she changes what she does.
Have you heard of any of your peers being sexually assaulted?
Yes,
In your opinion, is it common?
yes.
Do you know what happened to the attackers?
No, I don't.
Would you like to remain anonymous for this interview?
Yes,
Has sexual assault affected your life?
yes.
Were you the victim of sexual assault or was it someone close to you?
I was the victim.
How old were you when you were assaulted?
6,
How old was your attacker?
mid-40s.
Was your attacker someone you knew?
Yes, he was my adopted father, but at the time I didn't know I was really adopted, so he was my dad.
What time did the assault occur?
Around 10 o'clock at night.
Was anyone involved under the influence?
He was drunk.
Can you take me through what happened before the assault?
So we lived in the second floor of an apartment complex, and he was having his normal smoke a cigarette and have a drink on the balcony, but it wasn't like a drink, it was more like a whole pack. And I decided it was late and I needed to go to bed. So I got in bed and I usually slept in his bed.
Can you take me through what happened during the assault?
And he came in there and just stood in the weirdest way. And I knew something was up, so I said, "Dad, like, what's wrong? Are you okay?" And he just walked over to me, grabbed my wrists, pinned them on the headboard, and started taking off my clothes. And I started screaming and kicking and trying to get out. And it didn't work, and he ended up taking off my clothes, and then he raped me. And halfway during it, I had passed out.
Can you take me through what happened after the assault?
I woke up, my legs were covered in blood, and the sheets under me were covered in blood, and he was sleeping right next to me. And I realized it was time for me to get up and make my brother breakfast since he was too young to make his own food. So I just went to the bathroom, cleaned up my legs, put on clothes, and I made my brother breakfast.
Where did the assault take place?
In his old apartment.
Were you alone when the assault took place?
My brother was, at the time, he was 3 and asleep in the other room.
Did you seek medical attention?
No.
Immediately after, did the victim tell anyone?
No.
Did you press charges?
After about 8 years of not telling anyone, my mom found out whenever I first told my friend, and she called the cops.
What was your experience pressing charges?
I had to go to some place called the Carousel Center, and they had to examine my vagina and see if there was any physical evidence left, even though it was, at the time, 8 years old. And they found heinous scars deep inside of me, and I was permanently damaged.
What was your experience with the court system?
Not very good. After I went to court, they made me testify. I did not have a choice in whether I could testify or not. And the whole time he was just sneering at me and just looking at me in a perverted way. And they put forth my damage inside my vagina, and they dated it at the time. I waited 2 years just for my court date. And even though we had a surplus of evidence and he didn't even testify or put up any evidence, we lost the court case and he didn't get charged with anything.
In your opinion, why didn't he get charged?
I have no idea. He said that I lied about it to get a boyfriend. And apparently that's enough for people to doubt. His attorney lied and said I don't have any mental issues. I remember when I was walking up to the stand, I was wearing like a short sleeve dress, and apparently they could see my old scars from where I would self-harm. They pointed that out, and apparently I wasn't depressed, according to the attorney.
Do you have any relation to him anymore? When's the last time you've seen him?
When I was in court, my relationship stopped with him because he was just too abusive. I didn't tell my mom about the abuse at all. I would just get kicked down the stairs of the apartment. I would get slammed against walls, and I would take a lot of beatings for my brother because I didn't want anything to happen to him. And he became more and more drunk, and he would mix up dates. And it was when I was in 5th grade, so I was about 11 or 10. And my mom just had enough, and we just cut him out, and I changed my last name.
Did the attacker have a weapon or did he use physical force?
He pinned me down with his hands, and he scratched me with something, but I couldn't see what it was. But I think it was a pocket knife.
Do you still have scars?
Yes. And my back is covered with scars, and that's why I don't wear bathing suits.
Was this a one-time occurrence or did it take place multiple times?
It happened twice.
Does your family have any knowledge of your assault?
Yes.
3 years?
They found out 2 years ago.
What was your reaction to being assaulted?
I blamed it on myself, and I blamed it on my mom, because my mom's the one who made me be there that weekend, because she wanted to go out and party like she always did, and she kicked me out of the house and made me go stay with him.
Did you reach out to any public establishments to help recover from the attack?
I was forced to by the court system to go to care and spend a week in therapy that did absolutely nothing.
Do you think public establishments are effective?
They need to fix their strategies, because I had the most awkward therapist, and he literally would just look at me and say, "Are you sad?" I would give kids an option to choose how they want to talk about it, because forcing someone to talk about something they don't want to is not going to help anyone. It's just going to make it worse. I didn't have a choice. The Carousel Center, once they found the scars in me, they said I have to get started because it's a criminal offense.
Was your mental health affected due to your assault?
Right afterward, I started to self-harm, and I would mutilate myself, and I would burn myself because that's the only way I could not think of it. And I became really depressed. I wouldn't even just isolate myself from anyone, and I just didn't talk to anyone.
Are you still struggling now?
Not the self-harm part, but depression definitely.
Have any of your long-term relationships been affected due to your assault?
Yes. Whenever I would tell someone, I would usually wait a few months until I would tell someone, and I've had a lot of people dump me because of it.
Do you make different choices in your daily life due to what you've experienced?
Yes. I never wear clothes that show my back. I never really show my body because I'm just so self-conscious of it, because this arm is just covered in scars and my legs are covered in scars from when I would self-harm when I was younger. And a lot of them are fading, so I'm okay wearing a bathing suit now, but it's still I just don't like showing my body. And I don't like it when people touch me.
Have you heard of any of your peers being sexually assaulted?
Yes.
In your opinion, is it common?
Very.
Do you know what happened to the attackers?
He got away with it and continued to be a lazy drunk living in his parents' house.
Do you feel the course of your life has been shifted because of the assault?
Yes. I'm less trusting. I don't really actually talk to anyone. I put on a fake face, and I became open about that because I lied about how I was feeling for 8 years.
Is there any other information you feel is relevant and would feel comfortable sharing?
Being raped and sexually assaulted and beat changes someone's life forever. They can't be the same.
Yeah.
So it's like a permanent scar that can't be healed. It's permanently damaging, and courts, they don't really do anything about it. I didn't even know I was going to court. So I didn't even know I was gonna have to see him. Yeah, I didn't even have a choice to say no. I didn't have a choice. I didn't want to press charges because I knew, like, for some reason, I just knew they weren't going to do enough about it. And I knew it was just going to bring up a lot of stress. I started having nightmares again. I got to a point where I couldn't sleep at night, and it just brought everything back. It messes up how I dealt with things. Like, I dealt with things by working on myself, and the courts forced me to go to a therapist and talk to someone. What I learned over the course of 8 years to deal with it by myself, I don't talk to things about people because I learned how to deal with it myself. Now, I see the people that were in the jury on the street all the time, and they give me the dirtiest looks. And I'm not supposed to tell anyone, but people do. I went to church once, and I had a bunch of people like come up to me and said, "Oh, I heard about how you were raped." And it's just the most humiliating thing to be known in a community as the girl that got raped. It's just very degrading. I had to go see him again. I had to have him sneer after nothing. Like, I was opening up to people, and then it just happened in the beginning of this school year, and it just shut everything down. I went to court for only like 5 days, but I had to miss like 2 weeks because I just couldn't go to school. I just was more upset that I didn't have any choice, and the reason why rape is a bad thing is because I didn't have a choice in it. And they're making me to go to court. I did not have any choice. The district attorney that I was working with, I said, like, I looked up child laws. If a kid doesn't feel comfortable testifying against an abuser, they don't have to. And he said, well, that doesn't apply to you. And just because you wait to tell doesn't mean it didn't happen. Because I didn't tell because he said if I told, it would happen again. And even though I didn't tell anyone, it happened again, of course. And that made me more afraid to tell anyone. Because I know he was fully capable of doing it again. Apparently, still tries to call me, but I don't answer any 252 numbers.